G'day folks, welcome back to Live with Benno. Today we're going to be talking to Hayley Marie, who shot that video that went viral of Magic getting pushed by Raptor 13, and I've got a new segment I'm going to add to the show this week called Dick of the Week, and I'll talk to you about that a bit more in a minute. Alright, so why Dick of the Week? Well, we have had a massive amount of comments on our Facebook page. It's just gone absolutely nuts this last week, and it's been awesome. It's been good to have such a vast amount of input from so many different people and so many different viewpoints and all that. But every now and again you're going to get someone that deserves a prize for being Dick of the Week, and this week's Dick of the Week is Robert Matthews. Congratulations, Robert. I've got something here for you. Just kidding, mate, just kidding. We've got a pack of stickers here for you, mate. Hunter Motorcycle stickers, and they're clear so that you can stick them on anything, and you know, your car window, your head, whatever you want. They're for you, mate. Just send us a message through with your address, and I'll send those through to you. I guess we're all waiting to see why Robert deserves the title of Dick of the Week. Pardon me. Okay, here's a post from Robert. I'll snitch on anyone committing a crime, especially dealing meth, Gordy Hall, but I guess if you're patched up and you're 1% of club members are dealing and committing crime, you won't, blah, 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 blah. Robert, you make a good point, but if they are dealing meth, charge them with dealing meth. And I can tell you what, if your ambitions were to be a big-time meth dealer, being a member of a motorcycle club is certainly going to not going to further those aims, because you're going to be under intense scrutiny. You're going to have your phone bugged, your emails bugged. You're going to get pulled up every time. Now with number plate recognition, every time they go anywhere on a motorcycle or in a motor vehicle, whether it's them, their family, whoever, whatever vehicles are registered to them, get pulled over. The cops get a flag in their car and they know to pull that guy over. That's why they're getting harassed so often. Now, while I'm on the subject of meth, kids, if you're watching this, don't do it. It ruins lives, it ruins families, and if you are in a situation where you feel like you can't say no, you can message me on Facebook and I'll try and do whatever I can to help. Anyway, you've followed up with this beauty. Funny comment, Hunter Motorcycles Worldwide. It's common knowledge that these clubs are organised worldwide. So this common knowledge that he's grabbing from the media, that's awesome, mate. That's what everybody thinks, and it's great to hear those viewpoints, because we need to understand what everybody in the world's thinking, I suppose. But I'm just going to point your eye to this one. The problem with those that don't support Vlad laws is they can't differentiate between a biker and a 1%er. There's good reason to make it illegal for them to ride in their patches. That's just totally contradictory, man. You're just like the government, you bootlicker. On the one hand, you're saying they're dealing all the meth. On the other hand, you're saying that you want them to be invisible. It doesn't make any sense, mate. I invited Robert on the show, hoping to present him with his Dick of the Week award live on air. But unfortunately not to be. This is the response I got from him. No way. I've already had multiple threats of violence. Bikies are much like Muslim extremists. They have fuckwits that think they're something special without even knowing them, and these can try and silence you with threats. Well, if I had have known, I wouldn't have got your stickers, mate. I would have bought you some threats, and or maybe I can chuck a few threats in with your stickers, mate. There we go. All right, moving on to more serious stuff. We have Hayley Marie with us. Hayley, welcome. How you going?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks heaps for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Obviously, the video went viral, 300,000 views on our page alone. Now, just tell us about how you felt while this incident was happening. What was going through your mind?
Well, you know, just like everyone else that's probably watched this, you know, film, what the actual F, you know, like, how has the world come to this sort of stuff? You know, like, it's it's a disgrace to see not only, you know, like someone that's supposed to serve and protect, you know, disrespect not just any human being, but a veteran that fought for this country and for freedom, especially, you know, his freedom. He probably would have still been in the sack when he was in, you know. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Tell it how it is. I agree. I think that's probably what really hit a chord with viewers, and why people have shared it and watched it so many times is because, you know, not only was is Magic, you know, getting on in the years, and full respect to you, Magic, but you are pushing the envelope there. But also that he is a veteran, and he was clearly identified as a veteran. He was wearing Veterans Motorcycle Club colours, and there's no way. I mean, this guy, this is Raptor, Task Force Raptor. They know all the clubs, they know all the patches, they know who he was, they know exactly where he came from, and they think it's okay to just go pushing and shoving our veterans around and our senior citizens around.
Yeah.
So
in saying that, you know, like on the day, you know, he was the only officer that acted like that. Really, like the rest, especially Queensland, they were more than respectful to everybody. That, like, I call him Budgie 12. I'm sure you've probably seen a few things about him now. Budgie 12, that's what we call him. He's a disgrace to not just the police force, but to humanity.
And so you had some other dealings with him yourself on the ride, I understand. What happened to you guys?
We got a defect for the number plate surrounding, and it was written as major defect, even though it wasn't, and we had an hour to...
So what, sorry, just let me interrupt, what was the defect?
For the number plate surrounding, saying it was not displaying the numbers and letters correctly. But it did. Like, the toll cameras and the speed cameras can read it, and I said to him, if they can read it, why can't you? And he just ignored me. And, so the defect was written up for that, and we were given an hour to ride the bike away and get the problem fixed. But we were detained for an hour and a half, so that was completely wiped. We did have the number plate surrounding removed within about 10 minutes. And then, by law, he is supposed to write the ticket off to say that the defect has been fixed, and he refused to do it.
So, yeah, sure. So he has the power to remove that defect without you having to go and get the bike inspected.
Yeah, because that's the two ways to get it removed, is through a vehicle inspection station or by the officer that issued the ticket. So he refused to do it. There was an inspection station across the road, but because he's ticked the vehicle unregistered inspection station, that guy across the road couldn't do it. And we don't have those in Queensland, so no one in Queensland has been able to remove it for us. We've had to go and get a roadworthy and send it off to, I think it was Roma Street or something, to someone there, and we got a phone call today saying that they're going to remove it now, but we've been... Yeah, it's been pretty hard to do. It's
taken you nearly a week to get that defect removed, and obviously, and so did you have to physically take the bike back to New South Wales?
Luckily, no, but that was where it was coming to. So, because the owner of the bike rang like the police ombudsman and everything, like, you know, taking it as far as he could, you know, like, this is pretty much bullshit of what you're doing. Like, I want the problem fixed now, because they were saying that apparently the guy that issued the ticket was away for 7 weeks. So it would be 7 weeks before he got the letter.
Just to make it clear, your buddy who was riding the motorcycle, you were on the back, is that right?
Yeah.
And is he a member of a 1% motorcycle club?
No.
No, okay.
Social motorcycle club, yes.
Social motorcycle club, yep.
Just like I am, and just like everyone else that was on that ride.
Yeah. And have you been on the Good as Gold poker run before, or the charity ride before?
No, I haven't been on the Good as Gold one before. I've been on many other charity rides, but this was our first time for this particular ride. So we were pretty excited.
Yeah,
at the start.
I understand that the ride was for charity, Smith Family Charity, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And I know in the past I've been to Good as Gold, and one year we raised $22,000 for the charity.
Wow.
I can't remember what it was that year, but obviously numbers are scaled back a fair bit, and you can't expect to raise that kind of money out of 100 riders. But, tell us about the charity money and what happened there.
Well, to be honest, I don't actually know what the go was like with the raffle that was supposed to be done, because we never got to do it.
Yeah, sure.
The police told us at the start of the ride that any money raised over the border was going to be taken.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I don't understand how they can even do.
Yeah, well, there are laws surrounding that, and it's at the police discretion how those laws are applied. The Smith family is a registered charity, so they are allowed to do fundraising. However, there's a Lottery Commission's bylaw that requires a specific application to be made to hold a raffle. What was interesting was that they threatened to seize the money that was raised in Queensland, which they're not allowed to do. I mean, you can take money from one state to another, and if that money is legal, then there's nothing they can do to take it. But they threatened to take donations as well as cash, anything that they could, proceeds that were going towards the charity, and just generally making assholes of themselves.
Yeah, no, they really were. You know, like as a member of the public, and you know, we saw the ride on Facebook, and it was being run by the God Squad.
Yep.
So you know, we wanted to support the ride and you know, give to this charity and everything. And then for the way that we've gone and been treated, like it's a disgrace. You know, like, I'm not a 1%er, like, my friend's not a 1%er, and anyone on that ride that I'd already knew definitely wasn't a 1%er, and if there was 1%ers on this ride, we didn't even know that they were there. How are we supposed to know that they're there?
Well, that's a good point, Hayley Marie. How will you know they're there? Because they're
not allowed to wear
patches.
colours. Yeah.
Exactly. So how are you supposed to identify them? So you could be unwittingly breaking a law, I should say, and you would feel the full weight of that law, I'm sure.
Exactly. Like I could go down to the pub and I could go and have a beer with 3 random people I don't even know, and then the police come in and all that sort of shit starts happening. You know?
Well, that's what I saw. There's a report that's came out from the police to say that the reason behind the law, behind the crackdown, was to enforce consorting laws, and so it's pretty clear what their objectives were there. That if there was 1% members from a declared organisation there with criminal convictions, and you were caught associating with them, then you would have been guilty of consorting, and yet you have no way to know whether that's the case or not.
Yeah, wow.
And we spoke to Chris from Alibi Legal about that the other day, and it's a pretty grey area. The only way, you know, people are ringing him and saying, you know, hey, we're on this social ride. What do we do in this situation? And his answer is doesn't make you feel much better, that we won't know what the actual case is until these laws are tested. So, for example, if Raptor 13 had said, Hayley Marie, didn't like the fact you put a video of me on the internet, not that, you know, just hypothetically saying.
I'm sure he's said that already.
And I'm sure he has too. And decided to target you in particular, there's a good chance that you may have been consorting with somebody. You may have been in the company of somebody that was a 1% member, whether you knew it or not. And you're not going to find out what the outcome of that is until you test that in court, which is, believe me, it's not going to be cheap, and it's not going to be fun. Thanks very much for bringing this all to our attention, and for having the guts to stand up, take the video for the start, and to share it and put your name to it. Awesome effort. Thanks again for joining us.
That's all right. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, that was good. Thanks, Hayley. Just a little shout out to a few of the Facebookers on there. Trudy, always there every time. Thanks, darling. I love your comments. Josh Taylor, legend. I think you're dishing out a few threats there, mate, so you want to be careful. Yeah, good to have you all along. And look, there's some valid points made there by Hayley. And yeah, stick with us, folks. Awesome, Hayley Marie. Thanks for having the guts to do that. One thing that just occurred to me, when she applied to get the sticker off the bike, or a friend did, they said that the issuing officer, which is Budgie 12, was unavailable for 7 weeks. Maybe he's been stood down. Maybe you've really made a massive difference there, Hayley.
Okay, now friend request.
Tap the friends icon up there, invite some of your mates, invite all your mates. Type them a quick message to tell them that we are awesome and hit that send button.
Do you want to invite a friend to watch?
Okay, now friend request.
Right, I'd just like to point out that, you know, bikies aren't presenting themselves as victims here. This is not about being a whiny ass or sooking that you're not getting a fair go. These are rights that affect all Australians, and next week we're going to be talking to a Member of Parliament up in far north Queensland about exactly what's happened with with bikies, but then further on with the CFMEU and is it the Australian Building Corruption Commission, which is a government organisation, has come out and they've threatened the CFMEU and forced them to stop flying the Eureka flag at government building sites and stopped their members. So these are tradesmen that work in everyday tradesmen working on their work sites are not allowed to wear anything to identify themselves as CFMEU members. That includes the Eureka Stockade flag, or the Eureka flag, I should say. Have a good think about that and think about where this shit's going. If they're stopping any groups that have any kind of power to stand up to the government, they're squashing them and marginalising them as a minority so that there's nobody that can stand up against the government. And they're pushing these laws through that are taking away our freedoms. And you know, the CFMEU, actually, I won't speak too soon because there was a union that did stand up and they donated money to the UMCQ to help fight the bikie laws. But if all these minorities stood together as one against the government, these laws to marginalise us wouldn't be coming through. But unfortunately, that's not happening. What's happening is, the builders are going, "Oh, we're not bikies. It doesn't affect us." The bikies are the only ones that are going, "Hey, wake up, world." They're not standing there saying, "Fuck, feel sorry for us, poor us, poor us." They're saying, "Wake up. Wake up, have a look at what's going on and have a look at how it's affecting us. And if we can stop builders on building sites from wearing what they want to wear to work," and I'm not talking about they have to wear high-vis, I'm talking about they're being banned from wearing Eureka Stockade patches on their work shirts because it identifies them as members of the CFMEU. How's those apples? Right, we're going to be talking more about that next week. Been awesome to have you guys with us. Don't forget, $500 worth of Hunter Motorcycles parts with every new Hunter bought from a Hunter motorcycle dealer across the country. There's dealers in every state. You can look us up at huntermotorcycles.com.au. $500 worth of spare parts at our online store. And get on one of the coolest LAMS approved motorcycles in the world. Thanks for having us, folks. We'll look forward to you on our next live. Oh, next week we're going to be talking to Tony from Bare Naked Industries in Townsville, and he has a wicked shop up there, so hopefully we'll get to do a little tour of that. We'll be doing that, and we'll be talking to Stewie from North Queensland, who's going to be running us through some stuff with politics, bikie laws, unions, all sorts of stuff coming up next week. So there'll be some interesting information coming out. And hey, did I hear right that Budgie 13, Budgie 12, whatever he is, when Hayley said he's the guy that gave the yellow sticker, right? And when they contacted the ombudsman or whoever it was to see about getting the sticker removed, they said, well, they can't get hold of him because he's off for 7 weeks. Has he been stood down? Have we got breaking news right here, live on Hunter Motorcycles with Benno? Maybe. Stay tuned and we'll find out. If we find out any more, I'll be sure to let you know.